On a cool January evening, we welcome you back here to Sports Den, episode 16 of our 21st season. I'm Blythe Whaley alongside Matt Dean, our director Ted LaRue, and we can't wait to tell you about how our teams have been heating it up, even though we had a brutally cold week last week.
Yeah, it feels like we just crossed over into 2024, but we're getting down to the real stretch run of the winter sports season. Girls hockey, Blythe, we'll be doing a game tomorrow on North Metro TV. It's going to be, I believe, the 21st and 22nd games out of a 25-game regular season. So believe it or not, it's going to start with girls hockey. It'll continue with boys hockey, and then we'll have March basketball into section playoffs sooner rather than later. So really a lot of important games. We're going to talk about some key cat clashes. We'll have a matchup of two of the top four girls basketball teams in the Northwest Suburban Conference and really start to get into crunch time on an important stretch of the season here in winter sports. So a little bit of everything here in episode 16 of Sports Den.
Yeah, cat clashes. We should know this. We do so many of them here on North Metro TV, but we got a lot of good cat clashes, a lot of even dog and cat battles, which we know that happens quite a bit too.
More to come. We're going to get it started here in girls basketball, where we start from Tuesday night, where Spring Lake Park are on the road at Centennial. The Cougars entered the week in fourth place and riding a season-best 3-game winning streak. Autumn McCall with the spin cycle in the lane. The St. Thomas commit had 6 of her 14 points in the first half. Jordan Metz showing good footwork. The soccer player draws the foul, the contact, and finishes off a 3-point play at the line. How about this burst from Marissa Frost? Left 2 SLP defenders frozen on their feet. 11 of her game-high 27 in the first half. With SLP trailing 16-8, Bella Such cutting into the deficit. She calls bank here from 3, kisses it off the glass for the triple, capping a 12-2 Panther run. An offensive glass rebound was key for Emma Thompson here. Cougars dominated rebounding off the O glass. Such with, again, off the window, would bank in her second made 3 to start off the second half after the Panthers led by 2 at the break. Molly Munson with a game-tying 3, pulled it back even, 16.5 to go. Little hoop and a harm here for Brooke Gorish, who finished off the 3-point play. Marissa Frost with a step back would start to throw it down in the second half. That made it a 1-point game. Nussbaum would clean up the miss from her teammate to finish it off for SLP, back to single digits to stop the bleeding inside 5. Shooters keep on shooting. Frost started this game just 1 of 7 from deep. She'd finished 2 of 2, stepping back for a dagger 3 that put the Cougars up by 9. Despite a Panther push late that cut it down closer, the Cougars would go into closeout mode to finish their 4th consecutive win and go to 12-0 all-time against SLP in conference history.
I think I really just want to play well as a team, and now that I'm a senior, I feel like I have more of a responsibility on the court to be that one, and I just need to do it.
Yeah, so tonight in today's matchup, of course, you guys sitting down at halftime, what was Coach telling you in the locker room to help push you back out there on the court to continue to rattle some of these in?
Yeah, it was a lot of we needed to stop fouling. We know that they had way too many free throws, and once we limited that, we did better.
Just having to take on Bella Such down low, how difficult was that to get your game started tonight, and how hard was it also having to defend her on the other end?
Yeah, I mean, she's obviously a really good player, averaging, I think it's just shy of 17 points. She's super strong, super physical, so we knew just going into that I had to wall up and be a good defender, and obviously some calls did not go my way, but just pushing through that and playing against her.
Yeah, and unfortunately earlier on this season, you obviously were out some games. What has it been like getting back in your rhythm, getting back to Autumn McCall basketball?
You know, it's honestly been a process. Talking to my St. Thomas head coach, she's always like progress over perfection, and I think that's one thing that really has had to stick in my mind, because I personally am a perfectionist, so just having to trust the process and keep going and working on just getting better every practice has been the way to go.
As you heard Blythe speaking with 2 of the standouts, Marissa Frost and Autumn McCall, who combined for 41 of the 73 for the Cougars in this game. Cougars shot just 5 of 25 from beyond the arc. They dominate off the offensive glass and do enough to win their 4th straight following a shaky 3-7 start to the season. From an SLP perspective, 24 points from Bella Such, who now got to double figures in 13 of the first 14 games of the year. Brooke Gorish with a season-high 14. It was her first game in double figures on the season for the Panthers, who fall to 6-8.
And the Cougars also took on another opponent last week. Cougars battling conference-leading Andover in Huskyland. A couple minutes in, Autumn McCall gets a great feed from Jordan Metz. Centennial up to the three-point advantage. Frost bringing the tenacity on defense. Steal and a lay-in. Cougars up by 3. Midway through the first, all knotted up at 11. How about the Euro step drive for Morgan Miller? First lead of the game for Andover. But this is Emma Frost. Nothing frosty about that. 3 of her 11 points on the night. Piper Engelby also having 22 on the night. Nice awareness on that back cut to find her. But from downtown, Evers lands at 11 points on the night for her as well. Anna Voller can attest why Mila already knows. More trips downtown for the Huskies lead to double digits. This one goes down for Molly Munson, that awesome give and go. Evers striking, finding it from downtown, another 3. The Huskies build on this 14 lead at halftime. Marissa Frost scores 45% of Centennial's points, netting 29. Engelby gets the ball screen, easy money for her in the lane. Jordan Metz dishing it out numerous times, finding Emma Thompson. While the white shirts keep hanging around, Frost trying to win her team and get her team back into it. They're back within 10, but this game pretty far out of touch, an exclamation point, even more so happening from Purcell, but Andover stays unbeaten on the conference, 73-64 that final score. But Engelby 22, Voller 12, Frost 11 as far as the Huskies in double digits. But Centennial Cougars, Frost 29 points on the night, just continues to be quite impressive in her senior season. McCall 13 points. We talked with her, in that last one you just had, Matt, and of course just excited to be back playing basketball after being out for some games this season, and of course just a junior, so pretty awesome.
Yeah, Frost has been sensational this year. McCall only going to get better as the year keeps going along. Take a look at the Northwest Suburban Conference standings as they stand right now. So Andover have a season sweep in 2 games over Centennial. They've won 10 in a row overall and still remain unbeaten atop the Northwest Suburban. They have yet to face Maple Grove, who are the 5th-ranked team in the state. Andover checking in at number 9 in this week's poll, and they still have a matchup with a top 20-ranked Elk River team on the slate. Cougars are 3.5 games back. Blaine and SLP, who both have losing streaks of at least 3 in a row in conference, both find themselves 5.5 games back or further as Andover looking sharp and really starting to separate themselves from the pack right now. Here's the schedules coming up. Blaine and Centennial will both see Armstrong and Anoka in their next 2 games. They will face off against each other on February the 1st, that game at Centennial. Spring Lake Park, in the meantime, looking to snap out of a 4-game skid on Tuesday when they take on Coon Rapids, who are just 1-7 so far in Northwest Suburban competition.
All of our teams trying to get back to their winning ways, but we talked about Ladies Hoops. Let's talk about the gentlemen, what they did last week. Tuesday night, Cougars traveled to Spring Lake Park. Brock Remy getting the well-timed jump. They struck first, but the Cougars prepare to strike back. They do so. Dreesen pours in the 3-point to snatch the lead back. Thompson feeds King underneath, a nifty reverse lay-in for the lead. Burgoon with the hesitation. Spin move up and under and in, bringing this game back within 1. Remy doubled, finds King, gives it up to Thompson, who drains it from distance, 9-5 SLP. Hold on to your socks, folks. This next one's sure to knock them off. Remy on the overlap. Not a bird, not a plane, just Remy flying in to throw it down, putting on a show for the home fans. Cougars' Jack D'Agostino splashes it in. 4 minutes left, within 3. Dreesen swings it to Luke Gunderman, pops it, swirls it in for the tray, just a minute and change left. Panthers keep it in play. King trying to secure his crown, putting down some more before halftime. 47-39. We'll start the second half. Keelan Conkler gives it to King to prove he is still in reign here in the second half. Remy pushes it up to Connor Bangs, who lights the dynamite, tossing in the three-point explosion. Cougars will quick. Having faith Ty Burgoon can bring the monsoon. He pours in another. Panthers needing to clean it up on aisle 5. Jason Eagle ready with the mop, helping keep things tidy for SLP. Conkler swings to Thompson. Splash, splash. Who knew cats like taking a bath? Panthers up 24. Seconds left. SLP still hungry. Sawyer Thompson got fed the marshmallow Peep Bunny underneath.
Still continuing their first half. You had that big dunk that got, the gymnasium out of their seats. How did it feel to do that? And did that influence the rest of that half?
Yeah, it felt awesome. It started off with Andrew getting a big pin off glass, so he had energy pushing it forward, and I saw in lane, and some guy was under the hoop, and he wasn't really coming out to stop me. So I just jumped, and I was up high enough to dunk it, so I did. And yeah, I think that really got us a spark, which helped us go into halftime and then start the half with the big lead and get a win.
Yep. Speaking of a spark, when you guys came out of the half, you guys started to get to it early. Can you take me through those moments?
Yeah, we against Blaine, we started really fast early, and then this game, our first half was really slow. So we knew if we wanted to go blow them out in the second half, and we got yelled at halftime just for not doing the little things. We weren't switching on screens that we were supposed to, and letting the shooters get open. So it was a big mark to get close out on shooters, and that helped. We rebounded and pushed it and got wide open layups down court.
That final score, 93-72. Our Cougars fall. Remy scoring 22, King 22, Thompson 17, Bangs 11. A lot of guys in double digits. Luckily, both these teams are our schools. Something to cheer about on both sides. But Matt, just kind of impressive performances from a lot of these guys.
Nice job of the Panthers to run away. How about Brock Remy? 4 straight games of 20 points or more. He is averaging 26.4 a game, which leads the Northwest Suburban Conference and leads all Class 4A scorers in the large division in the state right now. So what a year he's continued to have, 9 times above 20 points this season. So taking you through boys basketball again, we will head to some Thursday night action. Couple of 4-win teams tangling. Andover coming into the Den to face Centennial. Cougars got going early. Jackson Dreesen from downtown Circle Pines, 3 of his 14, and the Cats by 3 at this point. 5 minutes in, red and black, we're up 9. Luke Deneke hooping the harm. He had 17, the quarterback for Andover in the fall, to lead the Huskies. Defense leading to offense. Midway through the first, Dreesen finishes smoothly in transition to push the Cougar lead to double digits. Jack D'Agostino, one of 4 Cougars in double digits, extends the Centennial lead to 14. Cougars off to a hot start. What's better than a 19-point lead? According to Luke Gunderman, a 22-point lead. He had 13 for Centennial in this one, with the Cougars up 24, their biggest lead of the night. Levi Strengy hit one, and then right before the half, Ed Miles with the putback to get the deficit to 18, entering the locker room. A lot of work to do for the Huskies. They would get to work in the second half. Deneke finishes tough inside and then keep chopping. Strengy nails the corner 3 to get it to 13. Andover rolling in the second half to throw down. Luke Deneke, your turn. 2-hand slam. Plenty of time left, and it's suddenly a 10-point game. Cougars looking to build that back up. Under 10 left in the game. Tristan Hansen, nice fadeaway off the window. Here's Cameron Begali, who gets going downhill. Nice drive to the tin. Just part of the great finish that was in store for him and the Huskies. Ty Burgoon didn't need much room on the football field to make the play. Same here on the reverse layup to the baseline. Cougars keeping the Huskies at bay. Getting to crunch time, Quinn Stray would hit that last shot. D'Agostino getting back in on the act, nails a 3 from the corner. The Cougar lead was up to 13. Under 5 to go. Begali, he gets this game back to single digits and doesn't need any help doing it. 3 of his 16 points there. He was huge for Andover down the stretch. Begali willing his way to the lane. Basketball and the foul. The lead has vanished, and now just a 6-point game after the and one. This is where things get good. good with Badali and Deneke both fouled out. Somebody has to step up. Quinn has staying power. Quinn Stay nailing it from the corner. Just a 1-point game with 44 seconds left to go. Cougars up 1. They get a shot off before the clock expires. Dreesen's off the mark. Hosfield grabs the rebound, and then he's able to, Alex Kopets going coast to coast to lay it in and complete the massive comeback, 69-68.
Points and get my teammates involved.
You had a big game against these guys last time. You had to feel confident coming in that you could dominate the boards once again.
Yeah, last time I did well on the boards, and I just thought same thing, same idea this time.
I trusted my guys to make shots. After Luke got down, he went out, I realized something had to change. Something had to change along the offensive side, defensive side, and that's where I hit a couple shots, my confidence rose, and played how I did.
So Centennial blows a big halftime lead, and it's the Andover Huskies who storm back. A lot of the standouts from that Andover football team that made a run to the state semifinals last year. Standing out, the quarterback Luke Deneke, 17 points with the double-double. Cameron Bagali, one of his big receiving targets, the second leading scorer. Burgoon, Dreesen, Gunderman, and D'Agostino with 4 of the Centennial starters reaching double figures in this one. So Cougars stay stuck with just 1 win in conference action so far. As we take a look at some of the boys basketball standings, Totino Grace, the #1 ranked team in the state in Class 3A atop the conference. Park Center, their lone head-to-head loss coming to the Eagles, who sit above them. The Pirates are the #2 ranked team in Class 4A. SLP sitting down in 9th, 5 games back. They're 3-2 in their last 5 conference games after an 0-3 start. Centennial and Blaine occupy the bottom 2 spots currently. The Cougars with just the head-to-head win over their rivals Blaine picking up their first conference win of the year as recently as Thursday against Anoka. They sit at 1-9 in the league. So here's what's coming up. Blaine finish a 3-game road swing this week before they return home next Tuesday to take on Rogers. The Cougars mired in a 6-game slide overall. Have Anoka on the road, Armstrong at home, then Elk River. They will be back for a February 1st rematch with rivals Blaine. The Bengals won that one 73-69, hosting in December. SLP with their next 3 in conference action before they go out of league play to take on Roseville on the road on Saturday, the 3rd.
Yeah, Matt, crazy that all of our basketball teams lost that last game. So everyone's going to be looking to get back winning here this week.
Yeah, it should be fun. I mean, we're headed into an exciting stretch, too. We'll have March basketball to come. We first have to get up to the section playoffs here in the hockey side. And in the girls' side of things on the ice, we are very well into the stretch run of the season and should be an exciting finish here around the state in the girls' hockey landscape. Yeah,
plenty of awesomeness out there on the court. And now let's see the actual ice and what our teams are up to. 2 of the best teams in the Northwest Suburban battling it out at Centennial Sports Arena. This is picking up at 6 minutes and change. Madeline Walter gobbling up that backhanded feed, leading the Cats 1-0. Just minutes left in the second, more Centennial scoring. Lager this time gets the finishing job off the rebound, 2-0 Centennial. Not even 2 minutes later, a miscue on the point from Katie Ball leads to a June Semling intercepting the pass and hustling to the loose puck and winning the battle. June, the Queen of January, beats Groes and cut the Cougars lead in half, 2-1. Cougars would flex their muscles in the third. In basketball, they say stop the ball, but no one can stop Ellie Newpower. She weaved her way all the way around those Bluebirds defense. Power play goal puts the Cougars up 3-1. CPCR pulling the goaltender, trying to get one back, but not today. Grace Lager with the hockey version of a victory formation. Cougars battle to a 4-1 win over Champlain Park Coon Rapids. Taking a look at those standings, Centennial Champlain Park just sitting down below Andover. But ultimately, the Blaine Bengals 5-2-2. So you think about what is coming for them in this final stretch, Matt, of how important these next games for that seeding. But everyone's going to be trying to get that home ice advantage.
Yeah, 19 games unbeaten now. Remember, Centennial Spring Lake Park have only outright lost one game this season. They have a 3-3 tie with Andover where they won't play again, so it's going to be kind of a who blinks first stare down this last couple of weeks of the season. Andover and Centennial Spring Lake Park battling it out for that Northwest Suburban Conference title. So, yeah, Blaine are going to be facing number 12 Maple Grove Tuesday night at Fogarty Arena, so big opportunity for the Bengals to pick up a win against one of the premier teams in the state. We'll be there tomorrow night on North Metro TV with myself and Bill Hupp on the call. And Centennial SLP down to that crucial stretch that we were just alluding to. 3 more conference games remain, and they're in a tie with Andover in the standings. So you see Centennial's schedule there. Andover at Elk River on Tuesday and versus Champlin Park Coon Rapids next week Tuesday. And then you see the 1, 2, 3 crucial conference games to finish down the stretch here for the Cougars. They went out. Huskies dropped points in one of those 2 remaining games, and Centennial SLP are outright Northwest Suburban Conference champs. So let's move to the boys' side of the ice. SLP boys hockey on the road at Coon Rapids. Matchup at a Northwest Suburban Conference and Section 5AA. We pick up the action at the 4-minute mark in the first. Senior Trenton Thiessen picking it up off the rebound and putting it into the back of the net. It's 1-0 Cards. Second period now. Teddy Wackman forces the turnover, swipes and scores to tie it at 1-1. 10:59 into the second. 11th goal, 30th point on the season for the junior. How about a little right place, right time awareness? That's Connor Larson with an opportunistic 20th goal this season. 2 minutes, 15 seconds later, SLP in front 2-1. Coon Rapids' Jackson Enberg off the rebound, able to tie it up at 2-2. 1:16 left in the third. Enberg just waiting on that weak side and is able to stuff it underneath the pads of the SLP netminder. So we're tied at 2. Anders Holland, the shot, the rebound, follows his own miss and scores. The senior's 4th of the year for SLP. It's 3-2, just over 2.5 minutes into the third. Matthew Stahlberger with a wrist rocket on the breakaway. That's the senior's 1st of the season. Heck of a goal to tie it up at 3-3. This Cardinal team that averaged better than 5.5 goals per game, they weren't done. Tandon Bush with a sniper shot at 4:59 to lift the Cardinals in front, and it was 4-3 late in the third. But the Panthers with a near immediate answer. Drew Lindquist, 41 seconds later, ties it up at 4-all. We head to overtime. Bush would find the loose puck, tantalizing area. He did not miss from the slot. With 2:46 left in the overtime period, the Cardinals go on to the victory over Spring Lake Park. So here's how things are shaken out in the standings of the Northwest Suburban Conference. You've got 7th-ranked Maple Grove on the boys' side, continuing to lead the pack. They have got a 1-point edge in the standings on Centennial, who have a head-to-head matchup still coming up with the Crimson in February. And the Cougars coming off a huge Saturday win at Rogers, where they beat a top 15-ranked team in the state. 5-4 was the final in that one, with 2-goal games from Alex Clampett and Heath Nelson in that one. So Centennial, a great month, very much back in the Northwest Suburban Conference race. Blaine coming up for them. They're at number 11 Andover on Tuesday. They host Anoka later this week. And then it's the battle for Fogarty Arena. It will be Blaine playing as the road team in their home barn that they share with Spring Lake Park. Saturday night, 7 p.m. We'll have it on North Metro TV. Cougars coming off that win over Rogers. They'll see Osseo and Champlin at home this week. SLP will also see 11th-ranked Andover. That'll be after they travel to Blaine. They will host Spring Lake Park coming up on Thursday before that SLP Blaine battle at Fogarty Saturday night on NM TV. So lots of good stuff happening on the ice. We're going to take it right to wrestling. The battle for University Avenue on the mat with Blaine visiting Coon Rapids on Friday night. We start at the 107. Alec Jean dominant into the third period with a 9-0 lead. But who needs points when you can get the pin? Ethan Tays seizes the opportunity to get the Bengals started off on the right note with the victory by fall. Owen Cool from 107 to 114. He wastes little time showing what he can do. 31 seconds into the bout, it's over about as fast fast as it started. Baby Blues holding on to a 12-0 lead. Cardinal grappler Tyler Ribeiro can do things quickly as well. A takedown of Pierce Wegleitner puts him up 5-0 early, controls the match 11-4 to get the goose egg off the board for Coon Rapids. At 1:27, Jack Bridenstine of Coon Rapids in charge at a methodical pace from the outset, gets the 2 points there. Another 2 is all he needed to capture the 4-0 win. Blaine holding an 18-6 lead. Double leg takedown at 1:39 from Landon Lorch sets the tone for a high-scoring match for this Bengal. Puts up 21 to Gilbert Kostick 7. Blaine continues to build the lead. At 1:45, Coon Rapids clawing back in it. Tristan Hargreaves headlock takedown gets things going in the right direction for the Birds. Hargreaves takes the 9-3 decision. Carter Skradsky on Coon Rapids ranked number 9 in the state at 160, pouncing on Owen Martineau to pull in front 4-1 after the first. About 30 seconds to go in the second. Skradsky cinches it, and you aren't getting out of that one. As much needed fall for the Cards' momentum in favor of the home squad. The roll continues for the Cardinals. Cam Ross notching the 3rd pin for Team Coon Rapids. Holding down Ethan Carr gives the Red Singlets the advantage in the team scoreboard, and the Cardinals would take it 39-25 in this one. And that is just about going to do it here on episode 16 of Sports Den. We're going to be talking girls hockey playoffs, as we said, in just a couple of weeks. We'll have the boys to follow, and then some March Madness hoops right after that. So, again, Blythe Whaley, Matt Dean, Ted LaRue, and our great crew here at North Metro TV. Keep you locked in on everything. We'll be back next week to take you through another busy week here up in the North Burbs. And that'll do it here in episode 16 of Sports Den.